Item 14, waste management future contract proposals. Deliver it for Councillor Benwick.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I bring this report here to Cabinet to seek approval to move to financial close on the waste management contract proposals. Chair, it's been a very long journey, I'm sure we'll all agree. At one time or another, all the several administrations have been involved in this. The Conservatives and Liberal Democrats. There's been numerous campaigns, legal challenges, planning inquiries, a huge amount of cost to this council in seeing this through this process. But we have finally got to a very significant stage of moving to financial close, Chair. This report went over in scrutiny yesterday, and I just want to thank all members of the scrutiny last night that contributed, and particularly Councillor Poulter. Councillor Poulter made some really excellent contributions and asked some really in-depth questions. So I'm grateful for that, Councillor Poulter. Thank you very much for that. And obviously there will be a further opportunity tonight for Councillor Hickson and obviously Councillor Poulter, if they want to ask any more additional question, they will be greatly welcomed. This is, as we've said on numerous occasions, the biggest contract to date in the council's history, and it is about getting it absolutely right. And the financial close process is all about that. Is making sure actually, everything stacks up, everything is in place to enable us to finally close this chapter and embark on a historic moment in the city's history, dealing with one of the biggest issues facing Derby and every city really across the world, you could say, but certainly in our case it's about how do we manage our waste, our waste, and just simply putting it into a big hole. We all agree here that it's not affordable. It doesn't offer any solutions to that, Chair. So this makes us masters of our own destiny, and that is something not many councils are going to be in a position to be able to boast about, Chair. So it's a huge opportunity, and it will be in partnership with our colleagues at Derbyshire County Council who have similarly taken this report to Cabinet. And just on this aspect of getting it absolutely right, and they were the kind of comments that the points that Councillor Poulter was rightly making last night. The way the financial close aspect is going to work, Chair, is there is clearly a break clause built into that. So at any stage, if we feel that it's not right, we can actually review that. We can actually walk away from that, Chair. And likewise, that same applies to county. But also, can I, say that from an internal aspect, as a administration, we will carry out our own internal reviews and updates as we progress through financial close. And if at any time we feel that, actually, based upon the expert advice that we get from officers and our legal team, if any stage we feel that actually things aren't going as well as we anticipated, or we're not getting best value on here, we will certainly review that, and if necessary, we'll bring it back. We'll bring it to Cabinet. So there'll be loads of opportunities internally, certainly, to be able to review this. So, Chair, I commend this report to Cabinet for approval, Chair. Thank you.
Are there any other contributions before I sadly have to clear the gallery? But Councillor Shenton.
Thank you, Chair. Just for the avoidance of doubt and to put it on record, I think everybody in this chamber understands my position on this. It's a proposal that I've been against ever since it came into the public domain. It may be the right facility, but I've got doubts over that now, the more I know about this, but it definitely is in the wrong place, and there's no two doubts about that. In my mind, the Council's own planning committee agreed that, and at least one of the public inquiries also supported our position on that. I think it was naive to sign the inter-authority agreement that was signed, and I think it was naive to ignore the first break clause. But we are in a position where we are. I welcome the Cabinet members' proposal that, if need be, this will come back to Cabinet in a more detailed report. But I just want to make it absolutely clear, I think it's the wrong thing to do, and it's the wrong place to be doing it in.
I'm just a bit mystified by
Councillor Shanker's comments there, because he made a big song and dance about we should have exercised the break clause before. There is an opportunity to exercise a break clause now, and I don't see the point of extending it, because extending the second optional break point to 2017 is almost academic, because you'll never be able, once you move to financial close, to exercise the break point anyway. So is Councillor Shanker now saying that he was wrong, that it was right not to invoke the break clause, or not? Because his position now seems completely muddled. He seems to be wanting to hunt with the hare and run with the hounds.
Did you want to respond to that, Councillor Shanker?
Absolutely. A bit predictable, as you'd expect from Councillor Hickson. The leader of the council, who never bothered to go to the Waste Management Project Board, but I forget before he intervenes, officers told him not to go to that. He normally tells us he doesn't listen to officers, and he's his own man, but obviously wasn't on this occasion. There's a fundamental difference between exercising the break clause now. The fact is they've got planning permission. When he decided not to operate the break clause prior to losing control of the authority by about 6 weeks, I think, decided to ignore that. The developer hadn't received planning permission at that time, and the advice I've been given is that would have been a perfectly good excuse for us to actually invoke the break clause at that time, because the developer had failed to get planning permission. Now, because of the inter-authority agreement and the fact they have obtained planning permission and an environmental operating permit, we're in somewhat a different position, and we're advised against operating the break clause now because of the inter-authority agreement, which would leave us exposed to financial and legal penalties. I think it's sensible to extend the break clause now rather than just ignore it, because, as I hope, financial agreement or close never happens. It gives us the option then to break that, to operate or exercise the break clause at a later stage. So let's not pretend we've got the other group's support on here. The Conservatives decided not to operate the first break clause, despite their leader being against it, but the previous leader saying what a cracking deal we were getting, and the Liberals who actually signed the inter-authority agreement without knowing the full details of the contract and without having even achieved an environmental operating permit or planning permission. And I can remember in this very chamber, although it was looking rather a bit more worn down than it is now, Councillor Poulter, who's I'm glad has come here today, in one of his cabinet member briefings before he made the decision not to exercise the break clause, listened to a number of arguments as to why he should exercise the right and use the break clause, decided at the end of that meeting to read out a pre-written statement and why he had listened to the evidence that day and decided not to operate the break clause. I just find it strange why he had to read from a pre-written statement on that occasion. It looks like it was a done deal even before he actually came to that meeting. So I don't need any lessons from the Conservative Group Chair on the way myself and other local councillors have campaigned against this plant, and will continue to do so.
I'm going to move the rest of the discussion into the confidential section, so I'm going to move on. Item 15, Housing Revenue Account Business Plan.